Brian was very clear to say in an interview, I think it was Democracy Now! Interview, because that's what I want to talk about, that this kind of deal is actually not foreign. Because the reason why he was able to ask for those things is because they've existed before.
Right. It just hasn't been offered
to...
It just hasn't been.
Because they've existed before. He knew to ask these things because someone else had it. And he said... Someone else. And he said, as a director...
like someone else.
Someone else. No, but he said he has, as a director, he's generated $2 billion at the box office. $2 billion at the box office. I'm saying it louder for the people in the back. In the front, in the middle.
In the mezzanine. For the people in the mezzanine.
And in the lobby.
That's right. So, growth mindset and being a beginner. I saw a clip from Chip Conley. He's the founder of what's called Modern Elder Academy, which is a fascinating concept for lifelong learners. He said that if we only play games that we can win in life in terms of what we pursue, then the sandbox of our life becomes smaller and smaller. Right? So I was like, wow, think about that. We do get stagnant because I think we live in such an achievement-focused society that we're always trying to get an advantage. We're always trying to win. We're always trying to get one up. And he's saying, no, you need to really enjoy life. You need to be a beginner.
Imagine thinking you're the one and finding out you're one of many on the same Groupon date. These two friends found out that they went on a date with the same guy. And not only was it the same guy, it was the same exact date. Romantic dinner. Very thoughtful romantic dinner. Rented an apartment. They did a sip and paint. Got them white t-shirts so that they wouldn't dirty up their clothes while they're painting. Took a photo on camera, on film or Polaroid.
Yeah.
And end scene.
He's like, I'm going to come up with the most epic date of all time, and then I'm going to run it back.
Run it back.
You want this date? Holla at a player.
You can get this date, and you can get this date, and you can get this date, and you can get this date.
I actually don't think it's that wrong because he's running his first date play. This is his play.
But if this is your best date, what other dates are you going to come back with behind that?
Hey.
Alrighty.
And the autoresponder is on.
Take a sip of water.
Get a sip of water.
Because we're going to yap today.
Buckle in. Get ready.
How are you?
I'm fab. How are you doing?
You look so good. I like this pink salmon.
I love your sweater. Okay, let me just say about the hair.
Yeah, I was going to get to the hair. Because the hair needs a whole segment on its own.
Because it's mine by receipt.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's mine by receipt.
Mine by receipts.
That's right.
Love that.
I did not grow it, but I did earn it.
I love it. No, the curls are popping.
Thank you. Yeah, this is straight out of the package. This is really Free Trust. In case anybody's wondering, I have a wig on today, a unit, a piece, a hair piece, and it is Natural Rod Set by Free Trust. It's like a $20 wig, and it is a slap on.
Don't you just
if you have no time.
Just bloop.
Listen, I'm packing up. I'm getting to move. I've lived in the same place for 9 years. And so I have 9 years of stuff and no time. So today I was like, you know what? How am I going to be cute? I'm going to have to go into the package and take it right out, slap that bad boy on.
Slap it right on in.
Do some shibbity-dibbity. I looked up YouTube.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Shibbity-dibbity. Just some wave my magic wand. Some bobby pins. I looked on YouTube. The girls had me straight.
Yo,
they were like,
YouTube girlies with the hair.
This is how you style the bangs.
That's how I found this one. I was watching YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. Thank you. Thank you to the creators, because I know they don't pay you enough.
Okay, that part. Okay. And then the nails, these the
This is another
from Ahura?
This is Dashing Diva.
Oh.
So I did the little kit, the chrome kit I got at Ulta. So it's there's a little kit where you can do the chrome effect with the strips. With the Dashing Diva strips.
That's so cool.
I did it myself.
I love it.
It's my new project. I'm like,
It looks really good.
And I think it's a good on-ramp to gel because you just peel these off.
Yeah.
But they last for 14 days. So
that's what's up.
If you want to see.
And then the sweater. I love this color.
Thank you. I'm trying to matching.
I
love your sweater. I have a sweater just like that.
You.
And we need to be matchy.
I know. We should do like a photo shoot where we're matching.
Yeah, because it's like super
Rio
cute.
Sweaters.
It is.
But yeah, I love
Mine is a
Farm
button
Rio.
down.
Yes,
I
saw
love
that
the
one.
matching with the different styles. I mean, I think that's like, this might be our photo shoot look.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I love this sweater. I got it for Christmas a couple years ago. Farm Rio.
Super cute.
I have a couple things from Farm Rio.
Yeah, I love their colors.
It's like a dress. Right? They're so joyful. They're so colorful. It's like white with green leaves with the cutouts around the waist, and I think it's off the shoulder. And then I have another sweater that's like a leopard pink thing, which is really cool. And then this.
Get it, girl.
I love Farm Rio.
I'm looking fabulous.
Yes. So what's your out of office reply this week?
I'm moving.
That's it. Like this, a period. I'm moving.
Moving this conversation to later. Yes.
So my out office is because my brain is currently running on vibes and caffeine. If you need immediate assistance, I recommend prayer.
Get someone else to do it. Hey, his name is Jesus.
His name is Jesus.
Come on and get someone else to do it. Hey, his name is Jesus. His name is Jesus.
Come on and get. Okay. We can do this forever. We bring that back.
Moving on.
We brought that back. I need to put that on a record.
We need to record.
We need to actually record that song.
All right, so I see you, girl.
Yes.
You go, and we said we were gonna organize this before. So sorry, listeners, this is still work in progress, even though we're in episode 20. First of all, we need to be our own I see you, girl.
Yes.
We've
been consistent.
We've been
showing
consistent
up and doing this podcast weekly.
You know, except for like some over the holidays
and
but we have been. Most podcasts don't make it past 3 episodes. I did one episode of the Jayne Allen show. Okay, one. And so, listen, the fact that we thugged it out,
for sure,
and got to 20 episodes, we deserve our own celebration for that.
Yes.
So we see us, girl,
and
we
see y'all too.
We see you too.
Y'all are showing up on the socials.
We went from 0 listeners to a whole bunch of y'all. So thank you for listening. And
you're
showing
watching
up
on YouTube too.
Yeah.
So that's been and commenting and sharing and engaging. So really appreciate y'all showing up for us. But I'll start. Mine is with Dr. Toyin Ajayi. She's a co-founder and CEO of Cityblock Health, which is a primary healthcare provider, primarily serving Black and brown people who rely on Medicare and Medicaid. And she's a physician. So she is Nigerian, but she grew up in Kenya. Went to school, went to Stanford and Cambridge and all the jazz. And then as she was, being the physician who cares, she was just like, I really want to improve patient results. How do I do that? Right. And so she took matters into her own hands with a partner who's since stepped back. But she is out here and this company is doing the thing. The company's now valued at $6 billion.
That's amazing. That makes me think of Ryan Coogler's just get after it and do it. If you see a problem that needs to be solved, just get after it.
Just do it.
And just do it.
But
that's
a perfect
amazing.
example of chasing the purpose and not the paper. Because now
the paper's there. The paper will be there.
Paper will be there.
If you're serving, I think about it like this. If you are in service to a large number of people, the money will come. Obviously. Because you're in service. The money will come. And the more people you serve, if that's what if remuneration is part of your model, right, then money will flow from that.
Exactly.
But this is a beautiful, we see you, girl. Like, this is a beautiful thing, especially I come from a healthcare focused family, and a teaching family. And so anyway, for the space of community care and health outcomes, to see people investing in communities like ours and to improve health outcomes, that's what we need.
Exactly.
So kudos, that is special. Very special. Well, my ICU girl is Mama Tina, otherwise known as Miss Tina. I got that ish from Tina. Tina Knowles, the mother of Beyonce Knowles and Solange Knowles, but who has really had an iconic career in her own right in the music industry. And we don't think about it like that because she's so successful as a mother in terms of who she raised. Like, she literally raised some of the most successful people on the planet. And so that in and of itself deserves a masterclass. Please teach one. But she's had an iconic career as a stylist, as a manager, basically, behind the scenes of the rise of Destiny's Child, and continued on with Beyonce as her stylist. And so she's released a memoir. She released it on April 22nd. And so it's worth hearing her story.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's the Oprah's book club pick.
Oh.
Yes. So there's a beautiful conversation between Ms. Knowles, Miss Tina, and Miss Oprah, Queen Oprah. And she goes into some of her regrets, and it's very transparent. And so I just would direct everyone to hear what she had to say, because it's more than what we've ever heard her say.
Right.
She's always kind of stoic and she's just polished, but it was just nice to see her kind of open the curtain to who she is as a person. And I really want to know the masterclass of, like, how do you establish a foundation for these girls like this to be so powerful in the world and to move so powerfully. So that starts with the mama. I know we got powerful moms. So so a couple of tidbits about the memoir you got. It's a beautiful cover, and it showcases a portrait painted by Nigerian artist Kalani Fatai.
Oh.
So the portrait itself was commissioned in 2023.
Oh,
and
wow.
that's the cover of the book. And so he's not like a super famous artist here. Is really just Miss Tina's eye for art. And the book tour.
Oh, I'm looking at the cover now. That is stunning.
It's stunning. It's her. It's a rendition of a gilded cover, but there is a actual painted portrait of Tina Knowles on the cover of her book that she had commissioned by an artist. It's fantastic. I would like to do that for myself. I'm putting that out there. One of my books is going to be a painting commissioned by me of me.
Word. On
my book cover. I don't know which one's going to be, but it's going to be one. But the book tour.
Yeah.
Listen. A who's who of who's who of who's who's. Just let me give you an example.
Okay.
April 30th, Michelle Obama. Okay. We've already had Queen Oprah, Michelle Obama, Keke Palmer, Kelly Rowland, Tyler Perry, Stella McCartney in London.
So these people, what?
Yes.
These people are interviewing her?
That's her book tour. Her moderators for her book tour. I know. So if you can go, I don't know if there are even tickets, but if you can go. There's a fantastic interview with Ms. Tina with Michelle Martin for NPR. So I'm going to put some links in the show notes if you want more on that. But it's a really significant thing to write a book. I just finished a collaboration. I don't know if she wrote it in collaboration or she just sat down and wrote that, but I'm sure there was some type of collaboration, whether with editors or otherwise. It's just such an undertaking. So congratulations, especially with a memoir. You have to really bear your story and get vulnerable. So so fantastic. That's my ICU girl.
All right. Congrats to Tina Knowles. I had no idea that she had a memoir.
Yes.
And this tour sounds amazing.
It's
That's
amazing.
Insane. And this artist, I mean, wow. So
somebody
to
check out and follow. I'm going to put a link in the show notes because I was looking this up to talk about it. In USA Today, he was saying that he's so grateful and thankful that he's so grateful and thankful to her for, sorry, my nose is itching. He's so thankful and grateful to her to have seen him,
right,
and to have given him such an incredible opportunity. So
that's awesome. I love it. I love when we would give opportunities to people using their platform and
using your platform
for good.
And not just going to,
the usual
established names,
Yeah.
but actually putting yourself into your selection process where it's your vision, and you collaborate to create something. And yes, that helps someone be their best, be at their best.
I love it.
Exciting.
Heading into
what I'm on right now,
also known as Tell Me Immediately.
Tell me immediately. We need the accent.
Tell me immediately. So I am still in Sinners Land. I can't get enough of Sinners. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it again yet because I already saw it.
I had to sneak and go see the matinee.
You saw it?
I had to go to the matinee.
Yeah, you did
I had
see
to
it.
sneak and go see the matinee because I was supposed to go in the weekend. And we weren't able to go.
Yeah.
So I had to I was like, I'm not going to not go. So I had to go to the earliest show and sneak a quick view of it. Because I just, not sneak it, but I just had to do it at a weird time. So anyway, amazing.
I just saw the news that it is going to be number one again. It's already number one again this weekend.
As it should be.
And it only had a 6% drop from the first weekend, which never happens. This is probably
Well, what are they going to
asterisk
asterisk on that one? How are they going to try to find an asterisk for that? Which was so crazy. In case you haven't been following, Sinners opening weekend, was it $60 million worldwide box office, 45 million domestic?
Yeah. I think it was 48 domestic because it's 45 this weekend.
Okay, 48 domestic. $48 million. So just in to give this context, Quentin Tarantino didn't have that much. It was like same budget, 90 million.
For Once Upon a Time, it was 41 and it was like 90 to 100 million.
Same budget.
Yeah.
Maybe more marketing, but no asterisk from any write-up. What a smashing success this was for Quentin Tarantino. Flash forward
to last weekend.
Ryan Coogler last weekend with his original work.
Yes.
Sinners, right? Quite similar. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Sinners, lots of music, dancing, whatever.
Period.
Mm-hmm. And more money made, similar budget. We get, number one at the box office, but we don't really think
it remains to be seen if it was a success because...
We don't know if it's successful because it'll be a drop.
Not even that. It was because
so far from
they weren't sure if it was going to be profitable to the studio because it was $100 million to make and they spent another $100 million marketing. And you saw it. You saw it in the marketing because Sinners marketing was everywhere. Okay, and it was brilliant marketing. So now it's at 170 something worldwide.
Wow.
170 million worldwide.
Yeah.
So it will be profitable because they will make their money back.
Well, they already made their
some.
money on streaming after box office, right?
So it's not streaming yet.
No, but they already, whatever that deal is, puts it over the top in profitability anyway, right? Because now we've got box office.
See, I don't know the specifics of that deal, but Ryan was very clear to say in an interview, I think it was Democracy Now! Interview, because that's what I want to talk about, that this kind of deal is actually not foreign. Because the reason why he was able to ask for those things is because they've existed before.
Right. It just hasn't been offered to... It just hasn't been.
Because they've existed before. He knew to ask these things because someone else had it. And he said... Someone else. And he said, as a director...
like someone else.
Someone else. No, but he said as a director, he's generated $2 billion at the box office. $2 billion at the box office. I'm saying it louder for the people in the back. In the front, in the middle.
In the mezzanine. For the people in the mezzanine.
And in the lobby.
That's right.
$2 billion. So of course he should be asking for first dollar gross and getting the movie back. And then the reason, so basically, because I haven't gone to see it seen it again yet, I've been consuming interviews. I've been trying to find every bit of conversation about the movie because I'm just obsessed with it. I just find new things. I'm replaying scenes in my head. I'm like, oh, I didn't see that before. So I'm really excited to see it again. But there are a couple of things that I've learned that I'm really excited to share with y'all. So you don't have to go look for it. So I'm gonna tell you. So the first thing it was inspired by his uncle James Edmonds. I think that's his Edmondson, who he used to hang out with, and he's from Mississippi, the Delta region. So he would play blues records, drink whiskey, and would share stories about his youth. And he passed away in 2015. And Ryan said whenever he played these blues records, it would feel like he's connecting with his uncle again.
That's amazing.
And that's where the movie it came from, the inspiration, which makes so much sense because it is such an experience and it feels very intimate and personal.
It is so made for the theater. I mean, you have to go see it in the theater just to get the experience of it as a theater piece. It's a movie piece. It is something for the movie theater.
Yes.
It encompasses all of the aspects, the sound, the sound system, the visual quality, seeing something big. You want to see it big. You want to hear it big.
Yeah.
It's immersive. And it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be.
No, it's not.
That was what was my like hesitation. Even though I was still going to go see it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not into like scary movies. It's genre, but it's not, and it's not deep in the genre of horror.
It's more gory than horror.
Yeah, it's so as much as genre as Get Out is.
Yes. So this is what he calls cinematic gumbo.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, I think it was the Democracy Now! Interview, and he was talking about how his family, they're known for their gumbo. Mm-hmm. So in his words, he wanted to create cinematic gumbo because he threw so many genres into this movie: horror, action, comedy, drama, romance, something that traditionally in the industry that I'm in, people scoff at because they'll tell you, you got to stay in your lane. The tone is all over the place. And most times it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. But this, it works. Mm-hmm. It works here. So I loved how he called it cinematic gumbo. If you haven't seen it, plug your ears for 2 seconds. The choice of Remick being Irish, it was intentional. Traditionally, vampires come from Transylvania. So to have Remick be Irish, it was another layer that he added to the storytelling in the sense of, do you remember the part where he says, I understand what you're dealing with. Like, if you join us, you'll be free. You won't have to deal with these people. Remick at this point, so he mentions that, I think this is when they were doing the Lord's Prayer. And he said, oh, I remember a time when those words would give me comfort. So this woman named Kristen, I'm going to shout out Kristen T. Pepper on IG, was like, so he must be about 1,300 years old. Because this is when Ireland was being converted into Christianity.
Yeah, getting rid of the quote unquote snakes.
Correct. And so what he doesn't realize, what Remick doesn't realize, if he's a real person. But anyways, what Remick doesn't realize is that he has become the person that he hated.
Which is what happens.
Right?
Yes.
So that he is, for example, when he wanted Sammy's gift, he's taking people's freedom to, you know, quote unquote, build this utopia.
Right.
Build
his vision of what things should be.
Right. Even
at
though
the expense.
You found yourself at a KKK home, you seek refuge with them. So anyways, I think was really interesting that she pointed out that, like, you know, he genuinely believes that he's presenting a great argument, but he's actually just becoming an oppressor himself. So that was cool. And last but not least, Miles Canton, the young man, preacher boy, AKA Sammy, who was named, I think Ryan's grandmother's name was Sammy, or aunt. Someone in his family was named Sammy. He grew up in the church, obviously, you can tell. But he never played the guitar.
Really?
He picked up the guitar and started learning 2 months before the movie started filming.
Hey, really? So the guitar picked him.
2 months.
Listen, that guitar had some special things to it, okay? Evidently.
So when you hear these stories and these conversations, there were so many more conversations, too many to pick, but these were my favorites. It makes sense that this movie is so, it's resonating with a lot of audiences and a lot of people because the intention behind it is so pure and it's so real. It's not a cash grab. It's not.
No, it's a work of art.
It's a work of art.
It's a work of art
that happens to be a bit commercial.
Yeah.
And this is I like to say commercial prestige. This is an example of commercial prestige.
Yeah.
How you can do something so well, but also appeal to the masses.
Right.
And so I'm really excited to see continued conversations about this movie and also to see how well it continues to do around the world.
Yeah.
Like I said, 171 million, I think, as of today.
That's amazing.
So
but I mean, I think
Ryan.
it also is a testament to...
And the cast and crew.
It's a testament to supporting a project with the appropriate marketing budget.
Yep.
A lot of times when you see something, especially when it's unfortunately a creator of color, and I'll just say Black, that the marketing budget isn't there because there's this preconception that, it's not gonna travel, it's not gonna do whatever. And then the money's not spent to make it so. A lot of these things that have done well because of massive marketing pushes. Yeah. So I hope that this opens the door to a new type of thinking around supporting creators of color when it comes to marketing. Yeah. It's one thing to give somebody a budget and not the marketing budget to make sure that the budget is successful.
And this movie will be a success because of the marketing budget. Because when I tell you, every time I opened up my IG, there was something new that they were doing. Like they did, there's this thing like, how did you two meet, series on social media. And you had Michael B. Jordan as Smoke and Wunmi as Annie. Yeah. And they're talking about each other. And the same thing, Michael B. Jordan as Stack with Mary, I think the character's name is, and they're talking about each other. Right. And it was everywhere. Ryan was everywhere. It was just,
and it was not even that far in advance of the film either.
No.
It was a tight window. It was a concentrated effort.
Yes.
And then they got the word of mouth out early on, and now it has an engine that can drive itself.
Yes.
So I hope that becomes part of the continuing conversation, since they wanted to put that asterisk about the success of the film box office weekend, about, let's just see if it'll be profitable because of the marketing budget. Okay. Now we see what a marketing budget can do.
Yeah.
So let that be continued. Don't forget that part now. Let's just let that be part of the conversation. So this is really exciting. If you haven't seen Sinners, make sure you see it. It's worth, even if you're a little bit like put off about the vampires in the genre piece of it, it's not that scary, but at least watch the interviews. This is a cultural moment.
Yeah, it really is.
That you don't want to miss.
And
so
a moment we need because 47 is removing stuff from museums now. So he can't remove this.
Well, I mean, we can't unknow what we know. But the other thing about this is that Sinners, that I really wanted to see was how Coogler approached the vampire lore within the Black culture in particular, because the book that I'm doing with Black shapeshifters has vampires also incorporated. So I had to invent a completely new sort of mythology around, which I wanted to do. So that's why I was so excited about this, because I was like, maybe there's something, when you have an idea creatively, I always feel like that idea it has its timing. And it's exciting to see that, it's not that far in advance. Like there's a big project that has something, because it was way out of the ballpark for me for saying, okay, I want to do something about Black shapeshifters for my next book. I've been doing contemporary, romance adjacent, women finding themselves stories. And I was like, I want to do something with this supernatural component. So I'm excited to see this. And I decided I'm going to bring people along in the writing process.
Oh, cool. Yay.
In as much as I can, because I think especially coming up, I've been encouraged by this film. So we're just going to see how inventing a completely new mythology and lore happens. How do I invent the mythology around shapeshifters? How do we invent the lore and mythology around the vampires, who are the actual shapeshifters? Yes. Natural, we'll call it predator, but whatever. Biggest concern. But anyway, so on what I'm on right now, growth mindset. So growth mindset and being a beginner. I saw a clip from Chip Conley. So he was an entrepreneur in the hospitality business, and then he went on to become the head of global strategy and hospitality for Airbnb. So way early on, and very much a part of the massive growth and sort of even identity of what Airbnb became. So now he's the founder of what's called Modern Elder Academy, which is a fascinating concept for lifelong learners. But there's actually a location, like a beachside resort location for this place that he's created. This is his new venture.
Oh, cool.
But I saw him what he was talking about, he said that if we only play games that we can win in life in terms of what we pursue, then the sandbox of our life becomes smaller and smaller. Real, right? So I was like, wow, think about that. We do get stagnant because I think we live in such an achievement-focused society that we're always trying to get an advantage. We're always trying to win. We're always trying to get one up. And he's saying, no, you need to really enjoy life. You need to be a beginner at something, at I don't know, many things over the course of your life.
Yeah.
And not just be looking for that constant advantage of, how can I get an unfair advantage, an advantage over someone coming in to win. It's not about that. It's not about the absolute win. It's about the process of it. That's what he's talking about in terms of a life of fulfillment.
Yeah.
And so what I've been on and what I'm on, what I realize is sort of I've been following that mantra a little bit, but not thinking about it in that way. So singing lessons. It wasn't about making myself a beginner. It was more about taking back the things that I thought that I always wanted to do, but didn't think that I should or could, or, it wasn't fruitful or earning or wasn't going to be part of my career, that I shouldn't pursue it or shouldn't try to learn it or master it or be great at it. And so that was what I was rethinking. But hearing this in a new perspective to reframe it about what are you being a beginner at would make it all make sense without all of that justification. Like, I just want to be a beginner at something I think would be interesting. I'm a beginner at singing. I'm a beginner at programming. I'm.
That's right.
I took programming in college. I took one class, but I'm in the Code in Place program in the second week.
How's it going so far?
Your girls' programs compile. Let me just say that. Compiling, when your program compiles, it means you write your program and then you hit this button run. And the worst feeling in the world is when it's like, does not compile because your program doesn't make sense.
Right.
So when your program makes sense and you have everything in place, then it will compile and it will actually run the program. It will do what you ask the computer to do.
I love that.
So that was exciting for me. To be a beginner in that way.
I think that's so great to hear because, I feel like I'm trying to figure out the making time for that because I've been so one track minded for so long and chasing a specific career. And then now I'm here and then I'm like, okay. And I love what I do, but it's like, what else?
Yeah, right.
So I think mine will be tennis.
I love that.
I think I'm going to do that with Lisbon.
That's so cute. That's my best friend does that. She and her husband play, but I think, I don't know if my nephew does. I don't know if he's playing yet. He's playing soccer. I don't think he's playing tennis.
Okay.
But she started playing tennis. It's been like a late in life passion.
Yeah. And my other friends like that too. Like there's something about tennis or pickleball or something that's got people
golf.
Yeah, definitely golf.
Yeah.
You want to know? Listen, that's where we need to be doing.
Right?
We need to be golfing.
Look, I've been golfing since I was a child.
Okay.
But I have been so unserious.
Deals are made at the golf course.
And my dad is like so into golf, right? He's my whole life. And I've always been like, okay, I'm going to go, play with you. I'm going to go on the golf course. My dad has gotten me golf clubs. My dad has gotten me lessons. For whatever reason, it is one thing I have not like locked in. So if you want to lock in,
I do want to lock in because networking at the golf course. That's my next level.
I'm ready
to
lock in. And the clothes are cute. Because
and the clothes are cute.
I'm all for a skirt. Listen,
okay.
If I played lacrosse because I liked the uniform. So I'm just saying, like, when I was a kid, I'm all for a skirt. Like any sport that I can wear.
Okay, with the visor and the gloves.
Where there's an outfit.
With the shoe.
Any sport where there's an outfit,
That's what we're doing.
I'm totally with it. So.
Well, I love that. Thank you, Chip Conley, for sparking that within Jayne.
I will put the link. I will put the link.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is such a beautiful way of thinking about things.
That is that's an awesome. That's it's like yes. Thank you, Chip. Okay, switching gears real quick to Jesus Take the Wheel.
Yes.
Imagine thinking you're the one and finding out you're one of many on the same Groupon date. Okay.
Thinking you got chose
when you're
when you're part of a buffet.
pretty much. So real funny. These two friends found out
You the entree.
that they went on a date with the same guy. And not only was it the same guy, it was the same exact date. Romantic dinner. Very thoughtful romantic dinner. Rented an apartment. They did a sip and paint. Got them white t-shirts so that they wouldn't dirty up their clothes while they're painting. Took a photo on camera, like on film or Polaroid.
Yeah.
And end scene. Like same exact date. They were like, ooh, I went on a date with the guy. It was so thoughtful. We did a sip and paint. He rented an apartment. He even got me a t-shirt. and then we took this picture on film. And then the girl was like, I went on a sip. What's your picture? She saw the picture. Was like, I have the same exact picture.
With the same exact person.
Same exact person.
Ew.
So look,
Girl.
There's so many things I can say about this.
Girl.
At least have different colored shirts.
Girl.
At least maybe it's a sip and paint at the apartment for one, and maybe like a bowling at okay. It's a really fun date. That sounds like a really fun date.
This is what I would say. If you were like
but the same exact date, and this was within weeks of each other.
This is what I would say though. If you were like let's just say you were a filmmaker and you had your student film, you're gonna screen it all the places that you could possibly screen it. So this dude has taken he has just shot his shot. He's like, I'm gonna come up with the most epic date of all time, and then I'm gonna run it back.
Run it back.
Run it back. You want this date? Holla at a player.
You can get this date, and you can get this date, and you can get this date, and you can get this date.
I actually don't think it's that wrong because like he's running his like first date play. Like this is his play.
But if this is your best date, what other dates are you going to come back with behind that?
Exactly. So maybe when he finds the one, like this is his first date play, right? And then once he finds,
that's an expensive first date play.
He's gonna run that play until he finds someone that he wants to lock in with, and then he's gonna go to second date play, second date mode, right? Second quarter.
That's expensive. Like dinner, rent an apartment, buy the paint, the canvas, the white tee, getting a disposable camera, and share. Like
he just might have it like that.
He might got it.
Look, I'm like, if you one of the many, you just maybe didn't make it to round 2. I don't know.
And this is not a complaint, by the way. I actually think this is actually. I mean, maybe there's a part of me that's like, well, that's really smart.
Listen, this is an elimination round.
Exactly.
Like you just did, like it's like,
but I'm just like, at least switch up the tea. The balloon got popped. At least stitch up the t-shirts. And then the fact that they took the same photo. Listen. They actually overlaid the photos. And it was the same kind of film. Oh my gosh. It was hilarious. They're really good sports about it, by the way.
I think it'd be one thing if it was like they were dating the same guy, but I do think this is hilarious that this dude, I want to talk to him. Okay. What were you thinking?
If you are the person, can you please just send us an email and explain? Or we won't share your names, but we might.
Because look, if somebody else wants to go on that date to see if they're the one, this is a new dating show.
Oh my gosh. The same exact date.
You want to go to the same date to see if they're the one.
The same white tee.
I
wonder if it was the same apartment.
I want to know what he was thinking.
Anyways, but good sports. I will tag the ladies. I just saw this video and cracked up.
Well, kudos to the girls for not making it a girl against girl thing. Like this is a good laugh. It's a great story.
It's a great laugh.
I love this.
I didn't know if it was a Jesus take the wheel. It's a little bit of a Jesus take the wheel, but I was like, you know what?
Jesus take the wheel.
It was funny as hell.
But it turned out.
It turned out okay.
And so, I hope I want to know the rest of the story. This is the writer in me. I'm like, this sounds like an interesting premise,
okay. Right? Mm-hmm. It is actually an image. Okay, offline. We'll talk about that later. So minding my black business.
Minding my black business. Well, I do not have a black business to mind
to highlight. Well, I
this
have
week.
one.
I'm moving, so I would just like to put that in the ether. So I'm not shopping. I'm shopping my closet and clearing out all of the madness that has accumulated over the past 9 years. But that's another story.
Well, that is really technically you minding your Black business. Then,
yes, it is.
Right,
my own Black business.
Your own Black business. But I recently saw a post by this woman named Chidi Ashley Said. So I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your last name. I found her via Tanika B, who's a content creator on YouTube. Chidi is the founder of a luxury travel agency called Lux Tribes. I saw the trip that they put together for Tanika and her husband. They were celebrating an anniversary. They went to Bali. They do, they've been in business for 6 years. They do private trips, group trips. They offer payment plans. They cover pretty much everything, similar to last week's with Camp Yoshi, but they cover everything except airfare. Right?
Oh, okay.
But they're worldwide. They are worldwide. And the best part about this, a portion of the proceeds that they get from their trips goes to local vendors and business owners everywhere they go, which was
I love that.
Amazing to hear. So they noticed that one of the top destinations that they've been doing a lot of business with is in Morocco. And so Chidi recently announced that she's building a resort in Morocco.
I love that.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh my gosh. In Morocco,
I haven't been. Have you been?
I have.
Oh,
so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And the Moors, which were the dark-skinned African, the influence, you can see it in a lot of all throughout Morocco. And the crazy thing is it actually is a mix of cultures in a lot of different ways. It was a trading post, but you can just see the beautiful architecture and the design. There's such a beautiful aesthetic there. And is it Yves Saint Laurent with his Majoral Blue?
I think they have like a museum there.
Yeah,
right?
I went to the museum. I was like, I'm obsessed with that blue to this day, which I think you see at so many places. It's like a royal blue.
Yeah.
But it's just the colors, the beauty, the people, the shopping, the bazaar, the marketplace. It's just the energy is amazing. So to have somebody kind of go and be able to wrap all, I'm assuming that in her resort, she's going to wrap in the aesthetic of the location. I just would love to see that kind of blending of culture in that way. I'm
excited for her. Yeah. And I think this move is really smart. I didn't know this, but she shared that globally only 2% of hotels are Black owned.
Yeah.
And so because of this business, she spends millions of dollars a year on hotels. And she was like, it makes sense for me to just open up a resort. It attracts, 17 million visitors every year. And the growth to visitors to Morocco it's growing 20% year over year. So she was like, I'm just going to open up a resort there. So
it's a wonderful place to visit. And
I'm excited for her.
We did their Berber Museum in Marrakesh. Amazing. And what you don't realize, because when you go to Morocco, you'll see every skin tone, you'll see a lot of different things. It's not homogenous. But when I went, I did not realize, because I'm Black American, which is a mix of different ethnicities, but we don't have like this is where we're from. This is where people that look like me live. I can go somewhere and here these people are, and people look similar to me. So going to Morocco, it was weird for me because people responded as if I were one of them, like one of their family members, that recognizably, and like, you look like what my grandmother looked like, or you look Berber, or you look like, and I'm like, Berber, what is this Berber? What is Berber?
Yeah, now that you say that.
And then I went to the Berber Museum, and that was in Marrakesh. And in the pictures, these are pictures from like the 20s, just very old pictures. I could see my face in those people.
Wow.
I mean, tone, complex, everything. Yeah. And I was like, and the experience of that, especially as a Black American, because like not outside of your family, but be able to see people that look like you in a location of that place it's reality shifting. So that it was a beautiful experience for me, and to feel that embrace. That was my first destination in Africa that I've visited. So I want to go more places, but
that's dope.
But it was a wonderful entry to the continent.
Well, shout out to Chidi, because when she built this resort, now with all that data with the people that you've been working with, you know exactly what to put into it. So sign me up.
Know what to do.
I'm gonna be there.
Well, let's get to health and healing.
Yes, get into health and healing. So what's on your what's going on in your neck of the woods with health and healing?
In my neck, so I visited a naturopath.
Yes.
Recently. So I have been on my journey of defluffing and just trying to get myself organized physically and otherwise. But it was interesting. This is my first time going to a naturopath. So the way that this works, I see in tandem with my regular general care practitioner, whether you go to an internist or a gynecologist. The traditional conventional medicine practitioner is kind of looking for preventing holes or seeing holes and filling holes, let's just say, in your health, right? The naturopath is more so can do those things, but also is more focused on the holistic optimization. Like if you have goals, if you have, and I think some more conventional, traditional medicine providers are starting to incorporate this, but I really loved this perspective of, we don't look per se at definitions. We look at overall wholeness and wellness. And if something is out of whack, we're going to look at that. We're going to do the full investigation. Like we're not going to just kind of gloss over and, if the system seems to be running okay, even if there's something off, a naturopath will look at the something off.
Yeah.
And investigate it all the way to the foundation. So when you have something like PCOS, that's really important because even if you are functioning okay, there's obviously something off and there's a imbalance. And so a naturopath will find the root of the imbalance. It can be addressed through food. It can be addressed through supplements. It can be addressed in many different ways. Yeah. So it's not covered by insurance. But there's a test that she recommended that's $100. Yeah. So it wouldn't be a test that I'd get anywhere else.
What test are you doing?
I'm a cortisol test.
Oh, okay. Yes. Because I've done that too.
It's very specific, but you have to take it all throughout the day.
Yep. So, I've done that. And it's funny enough, I'm going to go see a functional medicine doctor this week to address not the same issue. But she did, when I did a consultation, she referenced PCOS. She was like, are you sure? Have you been ruled out for PCOS? And I was like, no, but I don't think I have that. She was like, well, it doesn't matter. We'll get down to the bottom of it. Right. So while you're on your naturopath journey, I will be on my functional medicine journey. So I'll share that with y'all as well.
Yes, but it's worth it. So yeah, it's worth that. We were talking about making an investment in yourself. I just wanted to share and be transparent about the journey I'm on.
I love that.
You can see in videos that I'm defluffing, but part of that is really being very involved and invested in information gathering around my health and also optimizing my health.
Yes, I love this for you.
That's my health and healing.
So last night, my husband said I was resilient. And that got me really emotional.
Why did that get you emotional?
Because for once, he didn't say I was strong.
Oh.
I don't want to be strong.
Interesting.
I'm over it. I don't want to be strong. Strong to me, and this is no shade to anyone, but for me, I am excited to get into the resilient stage because strong for me has this connotation of like, you can see it on people, right? It's you're being battered, you feel bruised, you're broken, but you're still standing, right? It's heavy, right? You're carrying all this weight for everybody else. It also makes me feel like you're stuck. I don't know why, but that's just what it is.
Well, strong is a very limited type of word.
Right.
It's not like
I knew you would get it. I knew you would understand.
Yeah. Because if you're being strong, then it kind of eliminates you from being all these other things. Right?
Yes. It just makes you feel stuck and like I said, stationary. So resilience is like, it's like your Teflon. Like things come at you, but it doesn't stick. Like life tries it, but it doesn't stick. And you're still growing through it, but you're not letting it define you. And I feel like resilience has this feeling of movement, forward movement. right? It's like, I'm not there, but I know I'm going to be there and I'm going to just keep going.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, another way to think about it, it's the difference between alive and living, right? That's strong is like alive. Resilience means living. Or thriving, surviving versus thriving.
Right.
Surviving, strong means surviving. Resilience means thriving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when he recognized that in me, and I was just really it really got me. I was in the middle of Bakari in Culver City just tearing up. And because I'm tired, but I don't want to quit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like resilience
is that bounce back.
Thank you.
Yeah. That bounce back.
I was like, Jayne's going to get this. I'm like, I may not do a good job of explaining it, but I was just like, because I don't want to be strong anymore. I'm tired of being strong.
Well, yeah. I mean, strong, no. I think that we carry that too much. And that was part of what I've been writing about is like this whole idea of strong is like you have to shoulder all of this and just bear the brunt of life.
Yeah, I don't want to do
I think
that.
we deserve more than that. We deserve more than strong.
Exactly.
We deserve more than strong.
So if y'all are listening and you feel me, like, please let us know. I feel like I want us to be resilient. I want us to tap into that because, like I said, resilience to me means something is happening. There's a forward movement. It's like I said, it's the difference between surviving and thriving. So that really got me.
Resilience is a very powerful word because it's self-sufficient in a way.
Yeah.
And it's free. It means freedom. It means creativity. It means self-determining.
Yes.
And if you can chart your own course and bounce back from whatever waves you encounter on that journey, if it gets rocky, if you get battered back and forth or whatever, and you have a process and a way of righting your ship, of repairing your ship, and righting your ship to continue the journey no matter what, with the same cheer and excitement and joy that you started with. Even if it gets, you lose things, it diminishes over time, but you can always replenish it.
Yeah.
It's particularly the joy part. If you can replenish your joy along your journey and you figure out how to do that, that is what we're talking about in this podcast, how to do that, because it is actually a process. So I think that you've sort of tapped into very much the core on our 20th episode of what we're doing is that we are looking for that recipe.
That's right.
Of resilience. So
that's right. So we're towards the end. Real quick, I want to tap into what's good, aka Delulu land.
Oh yes.
Because Time Magazine just released their annual list of 100 people making the most biggest impact in the world. And, it's broken down by artists and icons, leaders, titans, pioneers, and innovators. It's a year-long process. People go back and forth. I like looking at this list because there's always people on the list that I'm like, oh, I never heard of this person. So for something like Angeline Murimira, she's the CEO of CamFed. It's a campaign for female education. She was once a scholarship recipient, and now she's running the whole show and sending millions of girls to school across Africa, Ghana, Malawi, Tanzania, and Zambia. Or Duma Boko, Botswana's new president. Harvard-trained lawyer who ended a 60-year one-party streak.
Yes.
Now he's pushing wages up and diversifying the economy and changing the game there. Or Raquel Willis, a Black trans writer and activist, co-founded the gender liberation movement and recently dropped a memoir. So people like that, like I
Mickalene Thomas. I love her work.
Yeah, that's new. I didn't even know about her work. And so shout out to Time. There were some questionable choices. But, for the most part, they did their thing this year.
I think it's a good idea to look at that list. Thank you for that. I should read that list just to see, what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
It's a good
You should.
why not? It's a good why not read it.
You should.
And back to Delulu, Sam Altman of OpenAI.
Yes.
He was saying that, but the word for 2025 is delusional.
He said delusional?
He said delusional.
I love this.
Everybody is on this. We said it episodes ago. The word for 2025 is delusional. Okay, Delulu. And he said that the hallmark of wildly successful people, as he's come to see it, is a almost delusional level of faith in yourself.
That's it.
Almost delusional level of belief.
Listen, if Sam Altman, who is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, can say that, then yeah. So shout out to Sam.
And Eddie Murphy said the same thing.
I love it.
He said, if
Everyone's saying
Sharknado
it.
exists, why doesn't your idea?
Okay. On that
If
note,
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is a movie people can see,
that's on that note.
where's yours?
That's how we're going to end the podcast. My final word is you only yearn for what you think you lack.
And I'm taking a page from Chip Conley. What are you beginner at?
What are you beginning
What
at?
are you beginner at?
Have a great week, everyone.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.